Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. When you look at water, you have to look at its properties. So this is its fluidity, like it's flowing, and also it is thin. Its thinness is it's been a very liquidy. So liquid and flow. It flows and it has thinness. It has flow and it has thinness. Those two are the properties, and then it has no taste but color and no smell. So no taste, no color, no smell. So if you add something to it, that could be either solid or liquid. If you add a solid, then that solid doesn't cause much trouble unless it changes its property of liquidity and its, which is flow and the thinness of water. But if it doesn't, then it's okay generally. if it if you add a liquid which has three properties, then you look at the water. If the water accepted or water being dominated by two of those properties, then the water is not usable. You can't do wudu with that water. It remains pure, but you cannot do wudu with it. So the example is, if you put, say, vinegar, and vinegar has a taste, it has a smell, it has a color. So I'm talking about black vinegar, for example. So if you put that in water, obviously it could be small amount and you do not see any change in the water, then water is fine. You can still do wudu with that. But if you added too much, then you need to see whether the water now that you're doing wudu with has changes color or taste or smell. So if it has done at least two of these three, then that water is not to be used for wudu. Then you look at another liquid which has only two properties, for example, milk. So milk has color, we know, and it also has taste. So for example, you put that and there's no change in the water, you can use that water. Or at least if there was one property of the water gets changed, for example color or the taste, then you would say, you know what, we can't use it, because then water has been dominated by the liquid, which is milk in this case, that you have added to the water. So the liquid that hasn't got any properties at all, they're like, completely colorless something, then you have to measure the quantity. So if it's 1 liter versus 2 liters, so if pure water is 2 liter and this is 1 liter, yes, you can do wudu with that. If it has 2 liters of that and 1 liter is this, which could be, maybe, I don't know, maybe rose water, for example, then you can't do wudu with that, because you've got more quantity of the thing which has predominated now, the thing that you could not do wudu with. For example, rose water you cannot do wudu with, which has been left for some time. Rose water has some smell, but if you left it for, say, a week or so, a few days, the smell is gone. It's like a water, but it's rose water, and you added it. So the quantity of rose water, if it's more than the quantity of pure water, then you can't do wudu with it. So that is the background to this. Now, with regards to this carbonated water that you asked, the carbonated water is not neither adding a liquid or a gas to it, or solid to it, but a gas, carbon dioxide, that is being compressed into it with the modern technique. What it does, it just adds some possible taste to it, but that's it. It's not a solid, it's not a liquid, so we do not need to worry about that. You can use it, inshallah ta'ala. That's the understanding I have, but Allahu a'lam bis-sawab.